Hi, this is Danny from Headway Made Easy, and today we're going to look at how to tidy up the blog the blog design ready to put the content in. So at the moment, after we use the Quick Start Wizard, we've got this basic blog layout here. Now obviously if you had an existing blog, it'll look a lot sharper because you'd have content here, you'd have maybe sidebar widgets and plugins here, but this is the sort of standard layout at the moment, so we're just going to tidy it up a little bit. So what I want to do first is I want to make this background a little bit stronger. The light's okay, but I prefer strong dark backgrounds. So all I want to do first is go across to the Styles and Design editor and open that little box up and bring up the body. And if you're not sure what bit you're editing, just always call it out. Click the Call This Element button out and it'll show you what you're about to edit. So this is the body, and I want a dark body. So let's bring this down, and using the Headway editor, drag and drop visual editor, you can just see that you can choose whatever colour scheme you want. But let's go for a sort of kindy dark charcoal look. There we go. I like that. That stands it out pretty well. So I'm happy with that. But I've got a bit of space at the top here. Now some people like that. I kind of like either minimal space at the top or none at all. So what I want to do there is just let's narrow that box down. I want to shift this up a little bit now. So on the side dimensions, if you open this box up, you've got the option of wrapper and leaves. Leaves is the Headway equivalent of content boxes, and it can hold your main post content, your sidebar widgets, your plugins, your footers, anything like that can be all put into leaves. The wrapper, that speaks for itself. Obviously this is everything round about it that makes the blog what it is as far as space from the side of the screen, the top of the screen, etc. So at the moment you can see the wrapper width is 960. Now if I wanted, I can make that narrower, so it's like a really funky little blog there, or I can make it as wide as I want, but I'm just going to leave it at 960. So let's just drag it back there, and you'll see that as I make adjustments, all the sidebars and that change, which is cool. It equalizes the stuff for you. But I want to, like I said, I want to move this to the top. So at the moment I've got a vertical margin of 30 pixels, but I want to narrow that down a bit. Now like I say, you can either leave it so you've got a bit of space there, or make it all the way to the top. So I'm going to take it out of the top actually. So you've now got the header, it's at the top of your actual display screen. But here's a cool little feature as well: wrapper rounded corners radius. At the moment you've got a standard square looking blog. Now some people like to have a nice smooth aesthetic blog with rounded corners. Now usually you have to put in CSS coding for that, but with the Headway visual editor, all you need to do is just adjust and choose how much of a wrapper you want, and you can see it's adjusting at the corner as well. So I'm going to go for, let's see, 15. There we go. I like that. It's got a kind of nice feel to it. So I'm just going to save that and make sure that my changes are saved, but I'm going to continue editing, because now what I want to do is I just want to amend the colour of the sidebar so that stands out a little bit more as well. So I'm going to close these site dimensions down, and I'm going to bring up the leaves and columns to actually change. So at the moment, as you see, the body's still highlighted. If I click in here and you look over to the editor, you can see that all columns and containers are highlighted now. Now I don't want that, I just want this one here, which is if you just bring it down, that's the column number 2. The main one is always number 1, and any columns from there on in you just add, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So just to make sure I've got the right one, there you go, call this element out and highlight it, and again just jump into the background colour scheme and then move around with your mouse and just choose what colour you want. You can scan it down here and make it nice blue, whatever, but let's just take it back up here because I'm just going to make it a kind of easy-ish grey colour, which tends to stand out. I don't want it to differentiate too much, but I just want to make sure it's different enough for you, for it to stand out on the sidebar column. So let's save that, and that's fine. But what I've got now, I've still got a smallish content area, so I just want to actually amend the size of the leaves and columns. So here you go, here you come down, and there's two ways you can do this. When you look at the leaves and columns dashboard area, you can either go to columns themselves and type in the width if you know what it is. So let's say 270 for example, and just hit outside, and you'll see that drops the column to 270 and automatically expands the main content area. Another way you can do it is you can go to actions and you can go to arrange and resize columns. Just enable that, and then that's where you can sort of, resize it by dragging it over, dragging it back. And also, if you were thinking, you know what, I want a left-hand sidebar column and I want my content on the right, all you do is you just drag that over and drop it in, and now you've got the content area is on the right hand side and your sidebar columns on the left hand side. But I kind of like right hand side columns, so there you go. It's disable that. Pretty straightforward. I've now got my dark background, I've now got my sidebar column which is highlighted a little bit more, and I've got a couple of curved, a curved looking blog. It's starting to take shape now, and again, that's all without coding, all just using a visual editor from the Headway theme. This has been Danny at Headway Theme Made Easy, and I'll catch up with you next time. Cheers, bye.